Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to the Saving Made Simple channel. My name is Bella and today is day 14 of VLOGMAS, which means, yes, we've made it past the halfway mark and we are on our way home. So today I thought that while everyone is kind of thinking about how they want to change up their routines or begin their routines for budgeting, I thought today would be a really cool opportunity to talk about the pros and cons of using cash versus card. So, I did make some pros and cons lists. Unfortunately, I'm not creative enough to come up with a better system than just the slowly revealing while talking about it kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to do today. So without further ado, here we go. So we're going to start with the pros of using pros of using cash. And let's do that. So that's what we're going to start with here. I'm just going to overlap this one for a minute. There we go. Okay, pros of using cash over card. Number 1, budget control. Physical spending. Using cash makes spending tangible, helping people better track their expenses and avoid overspending. Number 1B, limited funds. With a set amount of cash, you're less likely to spend past your budget since you can only spend what you have in your pocket. Number 2, no interest fees. Who hates interest fees? As someone with a credit card, I do. All right, so interest-free. Cash transactions do not accrue interest, unlike credit card purchases that can lead to debt if not paid off promptly. No additional fees. Cash transactions do not involve transaction fees, which can sometimes be associated with debit or credit card use. Have you ever gone to a store and seen on their debit machine, must have purchase over $5, must have purchase over set amount to use a card? Well, that's because with businesses, unfortunately, they do have to pay fees on every single time we use our debit and credit cards. So when we spend cash, they're actually making more money off of our purchases as well. And so you're helping small businesses too. All right, number 3, privacy. The next word I stumble on, and this is going to be a hard time. Anonymity. Being anonymous. Cash transactions do not leave a digital trail, offering more privacy than your electronic payments. So, for example, when you're purchasing stuff for Christmas, you don't have to have all of your stuff literally on the internet where everyone can see. Okay, number 4, I'm going to try to keep this in view. Number 4, universal acceptance. Well, it's widely accepted. Cash is accepted virtually everywhere, including places that might not accept debit or credit cards, except for if you go to Wonderland in Canada. They are card only, which isn't my favorite thing. Okay, number 5, and this is the final one, avoidance of debt. Spending within your means. Using cash can help individuals avoid the temptation of spending beyond their means, which can occur with credit cards. So again, if you don't have it physically in your wallet, it's pretty hard to spend it. So those are going to be our pros for today. And now let's talk about the cons. And again, I'm going to try to keep this in view for you guys at all points here. Okay, so number 1, security concerns. Theft risk. Cash can be easily lost or stolen, and unlike debit or credit cards, it cannot be replaced if it is lost. I have lost money, and I do agree it really does suck when you're walking down the sidewalk with $5 in your pocket and you get to the store and that $5 is gone, and unfortunately the wind blew and somewhere your money has flown and there's nothing you can really do about it, but at the same time. Okay, no fraud protection. Cash transactions do not offer the same fraud protection as credit and debit cards, which typically have measures in place to dispute unauthorized charges. Again, if somebody steals $5 out of your wallet and spends it, you're probably not going to be able to go to the store and say, I didn't allow that purchase. Please give me my money back. Unfortunately. So that is a definite con. Number 2, inconvenience. Physical handling. Carrying large amounts of cash can be cumbersome, and impractical for larger purchases. And change handling. Paying with cash can require handling change, which can be inconvenient for both the payer and the payee. When you're a kid and you go to the corner store with $3 in nickels and dimes and quarters, it's fun when you're little, but I imagine that the cash register person doesn't love it. All right, number 3, lack of record keeping. No transaction records. Unlike card payments, cash transactions do not automatically record spending, making it harder to track expenses without manual record keeping, which means if you don't get a receipt, you might forget you made that purchase, and it ends up being a where did that money go situation. Number 4, this one's a big one, limited online shopping. Online limitations. Cash cannot be used for online purchases, which limits shopping options in an increasingly digital world. And I do agree with this, but at the same time, if there's ever a power outage, cash doesn't disappear when the lights go out. I will say that. I'm biased very clearly, but that's okay. Okay, number 5, missing rewards and benefits. No rewards. Credit cards often offer rewards, cash back, and other benefits that are not available with cash transactions. So, in summary, while using cash offers advantages such as budget control, privacy, and no interest fees, it also presents challenges like security concerns and inconvenience. Balancing cash use with electronic payment methods can provide the benefits from each while minimizing their drawbacks. So if you are kind of like me and I kind of pay most of my bills online, but I do also do a little bit of online shopping, but 90% of my money is spent through cash. I have come up into some situations before. Back in the day, my gas station here in town would not let me use cash more than $20 because they had once been robbed. And in fear of having a large loss, they would prefer that you didn't use so much cash. However, in the past couple years, while people have been using cash more because people are learning about interest fees and debt management, and if you ever go to a counselor with your finances, a lot of the time they will suggest that you don't use credit unless for an emergency, because those fees and those extra charges can really add up, and they're hard to get out of once they're there. So eventually my own gas station did actually start allowing me to pay with cash, and they actually used that extra money to increase their security. So when large amounts of money do happen to go missing, they have the camera system. So, by taking steps and pushing to say, like, I spend in cash, this is how I spend money, and being one of more increasingly, like, an increasing number of people, they've actually made the step to match us. So, like, using cash doesn't just benefit us, though. Like I said, it does benefit the small businesses as well, because when you're spending with debit or credit, the business you're buying from also pays a fee on that as well. And I keep that in mind a lot. There was this thing that went around a little while ago, and it was like, what is the true value of a $50 bill? And it was talking about, like, you paid with a $50 bill at a restaurant, and that restaurant paid their staff a tip of paid their staff in $50 bill. That $50 bill did this many loads of laundry, this many whatever. And it was a really interesting thing to read. And it actually gave me a little bit of pride about my use of cash. So if you are considering becoming a cash budgeter and you're thinking about the pros and cons, here they are laid out right in front of you, so you can make a more advised or more educated decision. And that's all I've got for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And tell me, which is your biggest con and your biggest pro of cash? For me, it is the budget control, because you cannot spend what you do not have when it comes to cash, unless you've got a pocket full of IOUs and someone who believes that you're going to actually keep up with them. And with the Cons of cash, I think my biggest thing is probably the security concerns. If somebody was ever to break in and steal one of my binders, there could at sometimes be hundreds of dollars in one of those. And that terrifies me. So I generally try to keep a very limited amount of cash in my envelopes or my binders at a time. But if money ever did go missing, I wouldn't know where to look first. So that's definitely my biggest concern, is security. But yeah, again, that's all I've got for you guys today. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all tomorrow with another video. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.